Hi there. Welcome to Fo's Journey Across the Bridge. I'm Fosia. How are you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. Trying to stare at the camera here so that I'm looking straight at you guys. Welcome, 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 welcome. How are you guys doing? Ça va bien? Hope you're doing well. Inch'Allah Tevin. All is well. Ça passe. Comment está? All of the above. How are you guys doing? So I want to talk to you guys about something. Quelque chose d'important. So on Fo's Journey Across the Bridge, I am doing my healing work so that I go from operating from a mental space mostly and recentering into my heart, anchoring into the core of who I know I am, who I've been created to be, who I am created to be. And so that I am operating from a state of balance, not just out of balance. Because if you're operating mostly mentally, you're not really using all aspects of you. And so I am returning. I have been on the journey, fully returning, anchoring into me. And I might say, I think I'm there. I think. I know. I feel. I'm there. I know that I'm there. And so we're going to do 3 conscious breaths before I take you guys anywhere else on this journey, on this road, right? So 3 conscious breaths. Here we go. Okay. Hello there. Again, the 3 conscious breath to center so that I am really not, sometimes I blabber on, and so I want to just kind of like a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, center, anchor, and so on. So I don't have too much makeup on, but I thought I still look so fresh for this winter weather. And I was like, don't waste it. Bring it. And the lingo of the youngs, don't waste it. Bring it to the camera. I've been staying away too long. Sometimes I get pulled into this, not rabbit hole, but this tunnel where it's like almost survivor mode. And then, okay, let's stay focused. I get pulled into this tunnel, or I place myself in this tunnel because I'm too on my emotions of fear, lack, just not despair. Despair is, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin, we have not felt despair in a very long time because we know how to navigate our mind so that even if we are operating from having less, that's my... I hope you enjoy the background sound. So that I don't allow myself to get pulled into despair, because despair, woo. So navigating being emotionally mature is very important, because otherwise, just people are going through a lot of tug and pull, and so of course they kind of they project that. I wanted to say what's the word? There's an R in the word that is not allowing me to, 2 R's. My tongue feels twisted just thinking about it. Antuka. And it's interesting, I'm going a little bit off topic. It's interesting how when it's not your mother's tongue, when it's not your original language, it's almost like your mouth and your jaw and the way you're used to pronouncing words is not the same. So that's why when you find people who may have a certain accent as they speak a new language, you can hear the struggle and the way that they are trying to pronounce the words, and it takes practice. It's almost like you got to be intentional as you pronounce certain words, because if you're used to speaking a certain way, all your muscles, your mouth, your jaw muscles are used to like performing a certain way. So that's why I think some of the words that have lots of R's in them, it's like tongue twister for me. But anyhow, I had a thought about something that I should have said because I don't remember it. And so anyways, yes, my journey, it's like I feel within myself. I feel like I'm sitting inside of myself. I don't like that I'm looking at the camera and it's this way. Oh, here. Okay, so I'll look this way. And so the fact that I feel centered. So my journey, it's like to really just, it's almost like I pictured, when I see it in my mind, I see it like being in a war zone and having to go away from your village, and you have to go over this bridge into another neighborhood. I feel almost like it's like I started this journey kind of like escaping from my life. And it wasn't physical, but it was definitely mental, psychological. It was definitely emotional. So it was almost like crossing a path to get away from what was no longer serving me. And at the same time, it's this journey to like, I'm away from home. What's home? And home wasn't external. Home wasn't someone else. Home was returning to me. So kind of like gaining power of my mental, emotional, and all of my like just my psychology, and being able to say, okay, I need to go into a space, I need to go away from a space that's not harmful physically, but is harmful in so many other ways. So that's the journey, returning to self, returning to like not just operating from one strength, but all aspects of you. So anyways, I feel like I'm sitting within myself. This morning I got up and I was doing something, and I was like, you know what? I was getting ready, and I said, you know what? No, I'm not. And it translated into I'm not playing small anymore. And what that means is like I've been stepping into like such a fear-based space, and it's off and on, right? And I find that it is off and on because maybe as I go higher, it's like this spiral, right, where you're seeing it from a different level of consciousness. And so, and it feels like you're repeating the same thing, but you're actually elevating, where you're looking at it, but you're not looking at it with the same eyes. You're not looking at it with the same mindset, with the same tools of emotions. You're looking at it from a more mature, healed, grown version of you. And so I was like, no. I said no. I refused. I today mentally came into agreement with a part of me that was not having it, an aspect of me that was not having it. And I still use aspect because it's not with fragmented, but there is, I feel like within one whole self, there are parts of self that are more the leader, that are more the sit back and watch, that are more laid back, that are more like the go-getter. I feel like we have all those aspects within self that are ambitious, that are like, it depend on the environment, certain parts of us shows up more. And so this very leader aspect of me is interesting because I just took this book. I was going to use it as part of my stand, because I create my own stand. I don't have a stand yet for my camera. Anyhow, and that aspect was like, I didn't use those words, but it was like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing, and what I'm not doing anymore is I'm not playing small anymore. I'm not tolerating squeezing myself into small spaces. I'm not accepting less than what I deserve. I'm not, and it's not like I cannot accept less. It's just in certain circumstances, in some areas of my life, I'm like, in this specific area of my life, I don't I don't want to play small. And it's affecting so many parts of my life. And the reason I step into these small spaces is because I still had the fear. And I say had because I don't want to bring it into future. I'm saying had. I still had the fear that this was the only way. I still had the fear like, oh my God, there's no way I could do it. And that, I feel like that aspect of me was just sitting back, like watching me rehearse this part over and over and over again. And it's like, no, cut. I can't do it no more. Cannot allow us to any further not be full, not be big, not be like enormous as we are. And it's not taking up any other space other than our own space. It's like, let me, like, that aspect is like, no, I'm gonna take the driver's seat. So Dare to Lead, I bought this book. I have not read it yet. I bought it years ago, actually. I've not read it yet. It's interesting, I took that earlier and I looked at the titles I was using. It was like Dare to Lead, and what, before I get sidetracked, I'll come back to the Dare to Lead and the meeting I had recently that just ended 30 minutes ago. So now part of me was like, no, we're not hiding anymore. We're not being scared anymore. We're not going backwards anymore. We're not. And I know you should not focus on we're not right negative as to, it's not negative. It's just, it's been assigned the negative identity. I should rather say I am standing in my fullness. I am taking charge of my life. I am stepping into larger space that can host me. I am bringing into my life opportunities that reflect me and reflect the desires that I choose to experience. So I was just having that thought, that it was just one thought of like, it was a refusal. It was like, I'm not doing that. It was literally, I'm not doing that anymore. And I knew, I didn't even have to explain it to myself, because I was having a thought about certain opportunities that I accepted recently, that I went into with like some sort of desperation of like, and I know that there's certain thought of consciousness that says you should worry about the 3D experiences, and I'm saying those are important, but you can't. Why do I not have napkin here? My nose is. So, anyways, it's not ignoring the 3D needs. It's about saying you have to step into the higher consciousness of the way you think, your mindset, in order to create there and then manifest in the 3D. So I've been like, oh, I need to manifest it by doing these things, and these things that I'm doing in this level of consciousness, in this lower level of consciousness, which is what the 3D is considered, it's actually not bearing fruit that which I desire to have and experience. Is rather bearing the fruit of the reflection of fear and lack. And the reflection of fear and lack are the opportunities that I've recently allowed myself to participate in, that now I'm saying, no, I can't do it anymore. Like, I'm literally, and it's and it can come across as responsible, and all of a sudden by saying no, I can't do it anymore, I feel this urge of power in terms of like creativity. Like, no, I could do this instead. I can do all that creative stuff that I was saying, oh, I don't know how to do. Oh, does it really make sense? Will it really be something that brings me financial gain? Can I really be able to generate revenue from it? And so it's like all of a sudden, by just that part of me, that leader that was just sitting and waiting for me, was like, no, I can't do it anymore. We're not going to do this anymore. I just can't do it anymore. All of a sudden, like, this thought that shot up that said, it was almost like a light bulb moment. Oh, we can do this other thing instead. So all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can use my creativity to generate, revenue. And then all of a sudden that felt easy. Well, before it felt so hard. All of a sudden it felt easy. And so that was the thought I had earlier today. And then I went to this General Assembly meeting for a board that I sit on as a member. And years ago, when I had participated in one of the meetings they had, I had this amazing aha moment. It was literally, I walked away saying that I was sitting in my purpose. And I came home and I remember like I was explaining it to my son, and even explaining it to him felt small. Like I couldn't explain the depth of what I had experienced. I was literally sitting in my, not even just my purpose, my calling. I walked away going, oh my God, I'm sitting in my calling. And I remember telling him, my son, I was like, I could not have in 100 years could have planned to be in that specific moment where I had that realization of the fact that I was sitting in my calling. All the things that happened in my life previously led up to that moment. Everything. Things that we consider negative, things that we identify as less important or less than or not significant, things that were shitty, things that were bad, things that were like attacks, things that were trauma, things that were all these things. I knew I should have brought my battery, my charger, and I didn't bring it, and now I need it. You guys are just gonna have to wait. I'll be right back. Yay! Wait. All right, that took too long, didn't it? Oh yeah. Does it reach? It does not reach. Oh shit. I don't think it's gonna reach. Okay, we're gonna have to adjust this. I'm just adjusting camera location so that it can fit.